Senegal has been facing massive protests. At the heart of the protest is a lingering fear that the current Senegalese president, Macky Sall, who got elected in 2012 following an election victory over his predecessor, Abdoulaye Wade, who rose into power in 2000, will run for a third term, demonstrating a constitutional subversion. Senegal, which is touted as a beacon of democracy in the region, held a referendum in 2016 which proposed amendments to the constitution, which primarily had a salient feature which lends to its label the beacon of democracy by reducing the presidential limit from 7 years to 5 years. President Macky Sall was hailed for the proposed amendment. However, there's a backstory that informed his decision. The relics of the former government, headed by President Abdoulaye Wade, had an inkling in the constitutional reform. Following the end of his tenure, President Abdoulaye Wade attempted to run for a third term by using chicanery as a campaign strategy. He argued that because he was elected before the adoption of a new constitution that altered the length of his presidential term limit, his first term therefore did not count towards a two-term constitutional maximum. However, those who could see through it saw through it, as his plans for a third term were thwarted by the National Assembly, and equally his appeal to the presidentially appointed Constitutional Council to permit his third-term candidacy was foiled, as he remained recalcitrant and abided by the constitution. His sentiments caused a furore, and the masses protested his third-term campaign, with popular artists conflating art and politics with a synergy, creating a movement labeled Yen Amare, meaning fed up. During the 2012 presidential campaign, presidential candidate Macky Sall ran on a campaign a two-term limit presidential tenure. It's no brainer that he was elected. In 2016, he initiated the proposal for the constitutional reform for the reduction of the presidential term limit. This was approved by 63% of Senegalese voters. At the end of President Macky's tenure, that is in 2019, he ran for president and got re-elected with 58%, evading a runoff. However, one of his opponents, who garnered 15%, would grow to be a bane in his flesh. Ousmane Sonko, who garnered 15% of the votes in the 2019 presidential election, is a former tax inspector and has proved himself to be a worthy contender of President Macky Sall, as he has gained popularity with the unemployed youth. However, Macky Sall will not take the challenge lying down. Despite his second presidential term limit coming to a close, tensions flared, creating a hostile political climate after Macky Sall issued an opaque statement that created a presumption that he would run a third term, as he echoed sentiments from his predecessor that his first term limit was to be counted following the 2016 referendum, making him eligible to run for presidency in 2024. However, his opposition, Ousmane Sonko, viewed Macky Sall's third term as a constitutional contravention of the presidential limit. Following Ousmane Sonko's protest in what is deemed a politically motivated, Ousmane Sonko got arrested on corruption of youth charges. In 2021, he was equally charged with rape of a 20-year-old masseuse at a massage parlor, and the prosecutor in the matter called for a 10-year sentence. His arrest saw unrest in the public. This plunged the country into protests, which saw him released with his protesters in multitudes celebrating his freedom. However, in 2023, a criminal court has found Ousmane Sonko guilty of corrupting the youth and sentencing him to 2-year imprisonment. However, he was acquitted of the rape charge, and very peculiar circumstances, Ndeye Kadi Ndiaye, who was the owner of the beauty parlor, was imprisoned for 2 years for encouraging debauchery of an underage person, that is someone under the age of 21 years old. This therefore begs the question, will Ousmane Sonko's criminal record make him ineligible to run for presidency in 2024? The public seems to have chosen their pick.